huge day of training. My absolute favourite time of the day. Really good. I actually vomited up the gels. Oh, but you know, it's a good day in the office. You know, who do I want to be being in the arena? Swim cap look. Did you guess how much I weighed on stage? Apparently you need to do bicep curls to be a better bike rider. 3 hours and 45 minutes total of training. Round it up! Round it up! I really should put that high up. Gave us the weakest stomach. She'll brush her teeth and like literally start. I'm actually probably one of the sorest I've been this week because of adding in the turf game simulation workouts. Babe, you have to say hi to the vlog in the morning. Hi everyone. Welcome to a huge day of training. So rough plan is, it's about 4:30 a.m. now. And basically we are heading off for our first run at 4:45 a.m. which is a 20-kilometer run today, and the run is like all based on heart rate stuff. It's more of a chill run, but there's a 5k segment at the back end of the 20k, sort of under fatigue, doing the 70.3 race pace, and I'll be pushing that at the end of the 20 kilometers. And that I'm aiming to do that within an hour and 45 to an hour and 55 minutes. And then we have a group that's actually like basically across the road that does an open water swim at 7 a.m. So we have to be there, part of the squad, to go out and do a swim. I wouldn't say that's like fully part of my program, but that's around me getting more comfortable with the open water swimming. And you got a choice there in the group to do 800 meters or like 1.5 kilometers. So I always just go by feel. And then we'll come back, have breakfast, and then we'll go hit a gym session later on today. And then usually on weekends I have a little bit more time to then go through saunas and the Normatex and things like that. Yeah, they were just like, where's like the girl with the skateboard? Because I'm just like the newbie on the team. Like yesterday, I was really proud too at squads because when I first started squads, I was like at the end of the swimming squad group. Yeah. I was like the slowest, and today I got to lead the group. But I was in the slow group, but I got to lead the slow group, so I'm improving. The fast group, like they're doing backstroke and I'm freestyling next to them and they're like smashing me. Basically the lead up to BUSSO, which is around 8 weeks or so now, so the 7th of December away, and today's around like the 8th of October, so about 8 weeks. And basically what I have coming up over that period is turf games in 7 days from today, which is a bit of a side quest, but you know, really leaning still into like the strength and conditioning piece, the hybrid style of like really where my roots came from, like the foundation of being in the gym, but also focusing on just like, got asked to do it, you know, who do I want to be, being in the arena, and I thought there's definitely valuable lessons to go and compete in that. And then I also have Huskinson coming up in 4 weeks, and then that will be a little simulation of the lead up to the half Ironman to practice again the transitions and open water swim in that. But you know, I heard Matt Fraser say it once, and I just like resonated with it so much. Like on his rest days, he would wake up really early just so he could lay there all day. But like, I feel like I'm someone that, like today, for example, Saturday, Sunday, I would rather wake up and finish training all by 10 a.m. so I can like have a chill day, still like feel like I've got the rest of the day. 100%. Another really big thing for me, why I even do it, is like every single event is like, you got to be up at 4 a.m. and like, I don't really like splitting out my training sessions over a day because you basically doing the event for 6 hours. So why not like train, like even like rushing, like I don't have to rush to go to the swim. Could have done the run after, but it's like at the end of the day, like I'm training for 6 hours on competition day, so I might as well eat and drink like I'm training. We're good to go. So outfit check. Always a floppy hat, so then it's just comfortable. No sunnies because it's pitch black right now. 4:45 a.m. in the morning. But we got a sweatshirt, but then this comes off after a little bit. We got the nerd belt that doesn't bounce. We need shorts that are like this length, so when you get the chafing, nothing happens. Bright pink socks, and we're actually trying out these shoes for the first time. I'm usually been loving the Asics, like they're like my favorite at the moment, but I'm trying to find a new race day shoe. I definitely want like a speed shoe. I want to get all the little 1%ers to get like the 1 minute cut off from every little detail. Up 2K. See you soon.
Okay, 20K.
My absolute
favourite time of the day. Like a transition at home.
Yeah.
Almost perfect. Oh, almost perfectly timed. That's a wrap. How good? Really good. First 7 kilometers was actually really hard, and then it got better. I'm definitely someone that, like, longer it goes, I feel like I get more energy. So it was good. So we have on the Garmin, we have 5 minutes and 22 seconds for an average of 20 kilometers. So it was 2 minutes slower than I wanted to do overall, but like today's run is more about not so much speed or anything, just like time on legs after a big week of training. So pretty happy with that time. Yeah, basically on race day, I want to go for 4 minutes and 45 seconds for the whole half marathon. I feel like I had more in there, but that was just like I've finished now and I feel comfortable. Trick is like to recover the legs in 20 minutes so I don't drown. Gabe, great running. How'd you end up going?
5:30 for 17.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Got
great.
like a mad stitch at the end and actually vomited up the gels.
Oh my god!
But you know, it's a good day in the office.
That's great content because I already told Maddie you have a weak stomach. Like I've done my 3 hard sessions in squads this week. So like I swim on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And I usually do like 1 swim by myself and then 2 with the squad groups. And then basically on Tuesdays and Thursdays I do like a bike and a run, but they're more like shorter sessions, more on like intervals and power. And basically today is like not on the program, but because like the biggest area I want to improve for BUSSO is just like feeling comfortable in open water swim. So today's not even like trying to go really for distance. It's just like I want to start getting used to like being 300 meters off the foreshore. And that's what BUSSO's pretty much like. It's like 200, 300 meters off the foreshore, then you just swim directly kind of across the bay and then back. So today's just like 800 meters will take us like 20 minutes. And then we'll have a coffee and walk rogue around this park for a bit. And then, yeah, then I'll go back, have breakfast and then really hit the gym. Didn't grow up swimming, but like obviously did, you know, I learned how to swim when I was younger and was confident in the pool. But grew up playing, like netball was like, you know, did all the sports, but netball was like my sport. Like I felt like most confident. I was like most dominant on the field and things like that. And then dabbled a fair bit in soccer throughout that, but always like rep netball and things. But then yeah, played soccer all the way up until I left high school and played like Premier League for like Blacktown Spartans. And yeah, really loved soccer. And I have those things where like I wish I'd stayed and played, because some of my mates made it, not to say that I would have made it, but it's like I had such short mindset of like at 18 I didn't make it, like I just gave up. And like you see people make it now at 22, 23, and sometimes I wish I'd stuck at it, but I was pretty focused always on like wanting to make money. And I think like a really big thing for me was when, you know, someone said to me like, if I make it next year I'll make like $20,000 for the year. And like women's sport back then was just like, it was barely making any money. And like I didn't see the path forward there. And like social media wasn't really a thing in being able to build that brand for yourself then. So I knew very early on at 18 or even like it was like 17, I was like, I think it's time to quit full sport going at this long term and then start working full time. And like Gabe played professional soccer, $500 for her first contract. Yeah, like Gabe earned $500, and I've spoken to a fair few ex like athletes, and you know, they're glad they got out when they did, because like they're also now set up with a house or whatever it is, and it's each to their own. But I think how things played out for me in terms of like choosing that path was the best because I always talk about now, like current state, is like I've set my lifestyle up to almost train like a professional athlete, which I always wish I had. And I always said, from like literally 14, I said to myself, if I could afford a massage every week for 60 minutes, I've made it. And like, so now like I just treat myself to that every week, and I feel like I'm living like a professional athlete. Like, obviously I'd like it to be more, but like in women's sport in Australia, this is probably as good as it gets what I'm doing now. And I think always back to that conversation we were having the other day, like what is an athlete? And so now I feel like when I was trying to make it pro, I called myself an athlete. And of course that's always been part of my identity, but you know, now when training, I just want to treat myself like an athlete, because like that's, you know, it's like what they say is like you got to act like the person you want to be to become. And so I just treat myself like, whether it's recovery, training, just how, even like when I'm talking to other people, if like I need to go to bed on time, and it's like how I like to live a lifestyle as well. So you know where the north of Skillian is?
Meet at Skillian.
Yeah, awesome. Nah, cool. All right, we'll see you there next time. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so the group is actually swimming at Terrigal today. That would have been cool as well. But there is a group coming. Morning. There is a group coming here, okay, so cool. I'm so afraid of like just having a disheveled face when I'm older. The crew looks like they're coming along. I need to actually start swimming, doing a few more swims in my wetsuit to practice, because it is like very different when swimming. It feels like heavier on the shoulders, because when you wear wetsuits you actually like have more buoyancy. And also in salt water you have more buoyancy than like fresh water than we had at Western Sydney. But it is good to practice without the wetsuit, so like if you get faster, you know you're going to be faster in the wetsuit. I don't usually do swims after runs, because like I also get nervous if I cramp in the water, but I'm feeling good. Had plenty of salts. Swim cap look. Also what I'm like learning with outdoor swimming and why I'm doing this, because what you need to actually do is like most of the time when you're swimming in like open water, you're actually swimming like 2 strokes breath, and then you're swimming to the person next to you, whereas like obviously in a pool you don't do that. And so that's what I'm practicing, but also sighting. So it's like, say if we're swimming out to a buoy, which you're doing in like BUSSO, instead of actually like swimming to the buoy, you want to actually look like kilometers out in front. But to do that, like obviously when you're swimming, you've got to like lift your head up and then come back down. So that gives you all those little practices to be able to practice on race day. Nice, Kate. Woohoo! It's really clear this morning. Clear, nice. There's lots of jellyfish though. Really? Yeah, a few jellyfish. It's like 800 meters, which is like, you know, the half Ironman's 1.9 kilometers, and even Huskinson's 1.5 kilometers. But again, that swim's more about just like really calm, and I was like enjoying it out there. Yeah. And a little practicing, like these goggles get so fogged up and you just cannot see anything. Really? Yeah, so it's like
time to go.
So that's like the next thing I need to like get sorted, and doing all those little things makes you like keep doing those 1% is like, what are you actually going to do on race day? Yeah, I had a bodybuilding era, so I think I was like, it just all blurs. I think I was like 19, 20 years old, 21. I did like the sports, I think it was like, there's IBFF, bodybuilding, and like full did like, I was 70 kilos when I started, and basically on stage, guess how much I weighed on stage?
Surely you couldn't have lost less than like 5 kilos.
59 kilos, and I was like, you know, you get so tanned, and then like I was just ripped. And like I'll get some archive photos out, but basically like to go from, and like my height, I'm like 172-ish centimeters, to drop like 11 kilos, and just like that period was like, when you're intense, it was like back in those days it was just like the chicken broccoli, and just went so hardcore at that. But like I still look at that moment being like one of the coolest eras, and I would kind of recommend anyone to do it. Like, it's a fun time to see your body change and get that ripped. But, you know, even part of that story is actually like, which is not healthy, I like lost my period for 2 years as well. So like, it took like 2 years to get my period back. And like, I remember being like, I don't have a period, how good, because it was like, they're annoying.
Yeah.
But then I realized like how bad it was.
Just for your body in general.
For your body in general. But yeah, I really loved that era, and that's definitely when I got addicted to like bodybuilding. Definitely make sure I still do a little curl at the end of each session to not lose them. Like, thank you very much. CrossFit era was out at Hawkesbury. I was actually, because we were searching on YouTube trying to sort all this stuff out. And Dave searched Kayla Stanley, and it was like me doing 18.2 in their CrossFit gym. So it was like, this was like, I remember I think it was dumbbell and like burpees, and then we had to do a clean, and this was a PB at the time, and it was 92 kilos. Clean, yeah. Yeah. My clean and jerk was 95 kilos.
So you were like a legit CrossFit.
I would say, I think I came like top 100 in like the open.
Holy nonchalant.
Yeah. No, like,
So nonchalant.
no, yeah, like, this was after. So, like, literally what happened was, did the bodybuilding. Like I said, I watched the Netflix doco of, like, I don't know, like, it was like the Daughter's Daughters, that was that era. And, like, I seriously remember the exact moment watching it in my bed, like, in my bedroom when I was, like, 21, I think, or whatever. And I fell in love with it straight away. Like, the next day I found the CrossFit gym, which was, like, the Norwest crew. And basically, like, that morning, I went in and did a class, right? And I remember it being, and Jess Coughlin was teaching the class, and I did front squats. That was, like, part of the main workout and a WOD. And I just, like, fell in love. And that afternoon I went back.
Oh, my God.
But it was the same workout, and I, like, did the same workout, because I was just like, this is so cool. So then, like, the rest is history. I was, like, probably, like, 4 years where it was, like, you know, we talk about now how I try and, like, to do, like, the training sessions kind of all in one block, whereas, like, you know, you sort of, like, want to do the morning session, midday session, afternoon session, because when you do competitions in that, it's very much like you're doing, like, 4 workouts in one day. That was back when I was, like, more of a personal trainer, so I had, like, the flexibility of being able to break up the days and do that. But when I met Gabe is sort of where I didn't stop doing CrossFit, but I definitely had a crossroads of, like, I started to get back into, like, a bit of AFL again, and just, like, wanted to do a bit more of the sport stuff. I found my way back to CrossFit Active, and then got pretty obsessed, and then joined Star Strength and Conditioning. Yeah, I did competitions, like, a lot of the local ones at the time, and then, like, it was sort of back then, it was like, I almost feel like you trained the whole year to, like, do the open and, like, go through that. And, like, I started in the era where it was, like, the 5 weeks of it, and then, like, so that's, like, a big portion
100%.
of it. And, like, sort of when you're new to CrossFit, it's like, you definitely need those periods of where you're doing, like, the just strength blocks and, like, trying not to compete too much. But, yeah, I did a lot of the in-house competitions. Like, I did the Bay Games by myself. I came second at the Bay Games. Like, that was, like, my first comp where I thought, like, was really cool. 2018. Like, I think, but this is, like, that was, then look at my body there. Like, that was Bay Games.
Yeah.
So it's probably, like, I was way more, obviously, way more muscle mass. Yeah, way more CrossFit-y. But I don't have, like...
Show me this.
I got this. Well, that was when I, like, you know, just learnt butterfly pull-ups. But we got this out the front.
Grips.
No grips.
Oh, God.
And, yeah, this is at my nan's where I grew up, and we got this out the back. And, like,
Has a blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair. Oh, there's some blonde hair eras. It was literally in Pitt Town in this church, and I would train the folks there Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I would have everyone, like, come into this little church, and I had a car that was smaller than this, and pack all my, like, weights, you know,
Oh my
barbells.
God.
And every day I'd go down, and, like, I loved it. Like, it was such a cool period, and it was called CS Fitness, and I actually have an old website we'll have to show you. Yeah, your sweat is tears crying out of your body. Like, that was on my website. But long story short, like, that was where I was, like, because I left school, I dropped out in year 11, and I thought to myself, oh, well, I should probably go do, like, a business degree. And so I signed up to go to uni as a late stage person or whatever. So when I was, like, 19, I started uni in a Bachelor of Business. In my first year in uni, I went and did this interview where you're meant to do it in your last year of university to go, like, work at a company. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You did, like, the 4th year elective.
I
did your first semester.
Right. And out of 300 people for the NRL, I got selected to work for the NRL.
Yeah.
and I got a job at Penrith Panthers, and literally my first job, like there was a whole thing to it, but like my first day they were like, yeah, so when do you finish uni? Like, are you a month away? I'm like, I just started. I'm in my first unit, and they're like, how did you get a job? I beat everyone in the thing. And so like I started at Penrith Panthers selling memberships.
Did you stay at uni?
Huh?
Did you stay at uni?
It took me 8 years to do uni. Gabe finished my degree, and I paid people to do my exams. So I have a degree, but like I didn't do it really. But after a year and a half of working at Penrith Panthers, I quit because I couldn't stand sitting at a desk.
Okay.
And then went back to PT, but then they called me back up and they said, well, can you come do sponsorships? And it was a bit more of a senior role.
Yeah.
Went back, and then, yeah, that's when I got fired because I basically was doing, like, the same job, but I was trying to create my own business for women. So, like, it was, like, I've just been on, like, a rigmarole, and then that was really depressing, though, when I lost my job. But it definitely shaped, like, who I am today. And,
Yeah.
And that was my first experience in sales. Though when I was doing sponsorships, I genuinely felt like if I was in sales, I was like, if people want to buy the Penrith Panthers and they're a fan, they'll just come and buy it from me. But like, I didn't understand that like consultative, like what it could actually do for companies. So I quit sales, and I was like, I never want to do sales again. And I went and worked in like operations for a little bit, but then I realized like I fully hacked the system in operations because I was like, if I don't have a metric or a quota to work towards, like it's so easy not to work in corporate.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad, but like it's really easy. So I realized like I need to get back into sales because it's like the most way that's like makes me like perform highly.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep getting better, your quota keeps going up. So like I think I'm actually meant for sales.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have a bit of ADHD? Is that what we're sensing here?
Very
Neurospicy.
neurospicy. I learned that word last night. I'm definitely a bit neurospicy.
Did you make that word up? Like, I've never heard that before.
No, it's actually like a culturally like neurodivergent. Like the media, like the sort of Gen Z millennial spin on it is like neurospicy. It's like a bit. It's more of a playful play on words than like neurodivergent.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Basically, if it's not sourdough bread, it's rice.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got eggs going on. How many eggs have we got, chef?
Well, I put the rest of the carton in, so I think that was like 10 eggs
Serious?
in the carton of 18.
3, 6, 9. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, we got apparently like 4 eggs each. Avocado and rice, and then top it off with a bit of BBQ if you like that, with a bit of salt and pepper. And this is really the first main meal of the day where you start to get more protein in, more whole foods. And we have about like a half an hour drive to the gym as well. So this will settle nice on the belly, and we won't get too hangry at each other.
Very important.
Very important. Basically what I need to do is figure out where my clean and jerk is at. Honestly, I haven't clean and jerked in like, I reckon at least a year. So on the event at Turf Games, we have 15 minutes for all 6 of us to hit a heavy one. I think I'm going to have to go first because I'll be lifting the lightest out of all 3 girls, I think. So I just want to see what my opening weight could possibly be at. And then there's also another workout. I just need to like feel around with it being a row, and there's like a dead ball complex. So just getting used to that again. Mm-hmm. But I'd say, and then we'll do a little bit of buys and tries. Always hit a little bit of buys and tries, and maybe a little leg extension. They're always the little things. But over like the week as well, I'll probably hit the gym 3 times at the moment. I'm honestly finding 3 gyms is like, if I'm at home and not traveling and doing normal routine, 3 gyms is a perfect sweet spot. As soon as I go to 4, I feel like overwhelmed trying to fit too much in the week. And usually those sessions are like 1 full upper body, 1 full lower body, and then the other one's like a bit more of like an accessory full body vibe. So yeah, that's what the week looks like. But today we'll just be actually hitting a bit of simulations of workouts for next week for Turf Games. Your legs, unless you want to. Honestly couldn't tell you I think any day of the week I could do 60, but then above that, like, I don't know where I'm at. Just do a warm up. As you've seen, I just got straight into this pretty much. I was like, cool, barbells a warm up, but. 72.5 kilos. So it's like, yeah, honestly the first time clean and jerking in definitely 12 months. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll do one more lift at that, leave it at that, and then on the day, just like, I think I could lift 80 kilos in pumped up vibe. Apparently you need to do bicep curls to be a better bike rider.
Yeah, that's definitely
I was the CrossFit girl. In the first CrossFit session I took Gabe to, we literally had burpees and running. Let's go! And, like, had no lifting, like nothing. And Gabe, you beat me.
Yeah. I've only ever beaten Kayla like 2 times in 7 years in a workout together.
That was
the
one
very
of them.
first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, CrossFit's easy.
And I was like, I didn't want to also be like, because we're also competitive, and I didn't want to be like,
Doesn't count.
yeah, no, I was like, you wait, and then it's like the next day I was like, weights, and I'm just like silently
Crushing.
like, this is what.
And then I realised how good Kayla was too, because like all the boys are just frothing how good Kayla is, and I'm like, oh, you're actually pretty good at this.
Anywhere from like 70.5 to 72 kilos.
Yeah.
Now with triathlons, like you can tell, I would say definitely like my quads, and like definitely like a bit of traps now being 4 months, like really not lifting too much. Like you can see it slowly, like strength's still there, but
Yeah.
just like it's slowly coming down. Not that it's all about like visual as well, but like I do like the more muscular look, and I feel like confident in that side of things. But yeah, just back to weight training, I just feel like it's such a different energy it gives you, and like I always feel like that strong and confidence, like sort of like that inner muscular energy, like that's what it gives me, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's so nice knowing we are, like, it's 10:40 now. We've done the 20k run, about an 800 meter open water swim, had breakfast, come here and been at the gym since like 10 a.m. We'll be done by 11 a.m. and then head home for the rest of the day. Yeah, about 3 hours and 45 minutes total of training.
Round it up, mate.
Actually, like, this is the session I would do tomorrow, which would be a bit more like whatever I've got left in the tank. It's more like not recovery, because it's definitely not recovery, but running is like the most taxing on the body, whereas I'm trying to save my energy for, the 3.5 hour bike ride tomorrow, which is hilly, and then a 4k run off the bike, but that's just like to let the legs feel that turnover off the bike.
Do you call that, is that a brick session?
A brick session, yeah. Yep.
Tracking.
Stacking bricks.
Kayla bench pressed so hard she broke a rib.
Yeah.
No way.
I did, yeah.
Wait. You can't just like drop. I think we need to work on this. You can't drop stories and then just like brush over it.
Yeah, like, so when I was, CrossFit was definitely, it was strength was my wheelhouse, but literally like popped a rib benching. So yeah, I thought like my bench is like 90, it was like in the 90s for benching, and yeah, like popped a rib and then like was out for ages. I couldn't even really press, and honestly I still have like this weird thing here that I honestly feel like it's related, but like got banned from benching.
Is this our training day now done? Is that the last set done?
This is our date day.
Apparently I'm better at riff-raffing, but thank you for joining me on the full day of training today. So it was a good session of 3 parts to it: the run, swim, and then the gym, and really appreciate you watching. So if you can like and subscribe for the channel, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.
Let's go.